Purpose of this video is to show you an exemplar of what a good style analysis essay prep and outline look like. The example that I will show you is based off of Edgar Allan Poe stories, but you will be writing your own essay prep and outline on Shirley Jackson's stories. Remember that if you're doing the basic prompt, you're writing on 2 stories. If you're doing the advanced prompt, you will be writing on 3 stories. Here's my thesis that I wrote yesterday in class. Remember that you can change your thesis, advance your thesis at any point in time. In Poe's short stories, The Cask of Amontillado and The Telltale Heart, Poe uses his sinister and clever writing style in order to communicate the theme that excessive pride and confidence can often destroy people. So just as we covered in class yesterday, I've got my 2 style adjectives to describe Edgar Allan Poe's style. I've also got his theme. This is my theme, and I've seen this theme, I believe, in this story and in this story. That's my thesis. These are the 2 literary elements that I've chosen from looking at my evidence log. I've decided that I'm an expert on symbolism and foreshadowing. Those are the 2 literary elements that I'm going to focus my essay on. So I've taken my thesis, I've copied it, and I've pasted it right here. This is my thesis. Most people didn't write a hook yesterday, but I want to show you an exemplar of my own so that you can prepare to write one this weekend. Intrigue, suspense, murders, and mystery. Edgar Allan Poe's stories have captured the attention of countless readers since the 1800s. His stories stand the test of time because of his enduring themes and exciting twists and turns. So that's my hook. My thesis is going to come right after that. I'm done with my intro paragraph. Now I'm going to move on to my body paragraph number 1. Remember that body paragraph number 1 is focusing on literary element number 1. So to help me keep my focus on just that literary element, I've taken symbolism and I've put it right there. Symbolism. Symbolism is the only thing I'm focusing on for body paragraph number 1. Here's my topic sentence. I've rephrased my thesis right here, and I'm introducing symbolism. You have to use the actual word, symbolism, the actual word of your literary element in your topic sentence. Here's my topic sentence. Through Poe's use of symbolism, the reader can clearly and repeatedly see that pride is often responsible for a man's downfall. This is my theme from my thesis, but I've reworded it. The theme that I've written here, I've reworded and put right there. And I've introduced symbolism. I've actually used the word symbolism, the literary element. Now it's time for me to talk about my first story that uses symbolism. The first story I talk about is The Cask of Amontillado. So I've pulled from my evidence log in number 4, in box number 4, I'm looking at the context here. And here's what I've put down. At the beginning of The Cask of Amontillado, we see our protagonist Montresor luring his enemy Fortunato away into his catacombs with the promise of Amontillado, an expensive wine. Even if you wrote multiple sentences in box number 4, you should only cut it down to 1 or 2 sentences because you should only use the context that you absolutely need to introduce your quote. You shouldn't use all of the context that you've written. You should only use the parts that you need to introduce your evidence. Here's my evidence. Montresor uses a symbol of Amontillado to get Fortunato to follow him. Here's my quote. I've received a pipe of what passes for Amontillado and I have my doubts. Page number, period. Now my commentary, which I pulled from categories 5 and 6 from my evidence log. Here, Amontillado represents a wine expert's pride. Montresor manipulates Fortunato's pride in knowing much about wines to get him to help and follow Montresor, who apparently does not know as much about wine as Fortunato. This symbol is a powerful one because Fortunato completely falls for Montresor's trap. Poe's symbolism here supports the overall message that pride In this case, pride in being a wine expert can often have destructive consequences. Now you see in this highlighted sentence here that I've taken my commentary, this symbol of Amontillado. My commentary ties what I'm saying about Amontillado directly to the theme that I've said in the topic sentence. Your commentary ultimately needs to agree with your theme in your topic sentence. Here's my second example. So I'm still talking about symbolism, but now I'm going to use a different story because I'm done with Cask of Amontillado. Here's my context. Additionally, because now I'm giving a new example, additionally, we see evidence of symbolism at the end of Poe's second tale of murder, The Telltale Heart. So I'm introducing where this next quote is coming from. The protagonist's pride is shattered by the symbol of the beating heart at the story's conclusion. Here's the quote. I admit the deed, it is the beating of his hideous heart. Exclamation point goes inside the quote, and I've got my page number here. Notice I've also used the 3 dots here because I only wanted this part of the quote. Here's my commentary. I've taken my commentary from categories 5 and 6 of my evidence log. The heart is an example of symbolism, standing in for the protagonist's conscience and guilt. While no one else can hear the heart beating, the protagonist alone hears this heart beating because the weight of what he has done still haunts him. Even though the protagonist was at first so boastful about never getting caught for his crime, the symbol of the heart shows yet again that excessive pride will always lead to great failure. Okay, so again, here in the last sentence of my commentary, I'm tying the symbol of the heart right back to the theme that I've written in my topic sentence. You always want to make sure that your commentary supports what you say is the theme in your topic sentence. In the third example, I would be talking about a new story that Edgar Allan Poe has written, and that would be an example of symbolism from another one of his stories, if you're choosing to do the advanced option. Okay. That's the first body paragraph. First body paragraph is all about symbolism, your literary element number 1. Body paragraph number 2, you're going to focus on literary element number 2. Just so that I don't get confused, I'm going to scroll back up here. Oh, I said I was going to talk about foreshadowing. I'm going to just put that in here so I can continue to remind myself, foreshadowing. That's what all my examples in body paragraph number 2 need to be about. I'm going to fill that out. And we're going to take a quick look at my conclusion paragraph. So first, we're going to restate the main points from our body paragraphs. My first body paragraph was about symbolism. My second body paragraph was about foreshadowing. Here's what I wrote. From a close observation of Poe's use of symbolism, first body paragraph, and foreshadowing, body paragraph number 2, it is clear that he consistently messages to his readers that pride will always come before a fall. That's my theme, and my theme is coming through in my symbolism and my foreshadowing. Now I'm going to connect it back to my thesis. His sinister and clever style helped bring this theme to life in a way that is exciting for all readers. So I actually went back to my thesis here because I had my theme, but I also make sure to go back to my 2 style adjectives because I want my audience to remember that I think he's sinister and clever. Then the last sentence. This is the most important part. I'm asking you, so what? What was important about reading these stories? Here's what I wrote. For centuries since his writing, and for many centuries from now, Edgar Allan Poe's stories will endure because his themes are universal. They teach us about how we as humans ought to approach conflicts with others and revenge. By reading about the unbelievable and wild experiences of Poe's protagonists, we as readers can discover that kindness and humility are often the right choices to make in life. So this is a real life connection. I'm taking the themes of what I've gathered from reading his stories, and I'm saying, how is that important to life? How is that important to me as an individual, as a human being? This video was an overview of all of the parts that are supposed to be in your outline. You have about 20 minutes to start working on your outline now. Your outline is due Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. You should feel free to come back to this video for reminders of what the expectations are. Good luck.